little lady. Madeline, age 9, left her house a few hours before supper time. She strolled and sauntered through the city streets in search of a gift for her mother on her birthday and some sweets. However, her travels led her to a quiet yet curious place at the end of the street. As it called to her, she answered with her feet. She stood at the front door of this small corner shop and drew in a deep breath as she tried to read aloud the name at the top. Curious Curio. She tried to pronounce as a man dressed in a black top hat and a warm red coat came outside to greet her. Curious Curios is how you say that, my dear. I am Francis. I run this little place. What brings you here? The man's gentle voice and blue eyes showed no ill intent to her curious mind. I'm Madeline. I walked by and wondered what you had inside, but I have to be quick, as I have to be back before supper time. She spoke with confidence in her voice, and Francis then opened the old wooden door to the place that held such wondrous things that most had forgotten down the line. Shelf upon shelf, and rows upon rows of intriguing and wonderful curios. Everything from puppets on strings to cuckoo clocks that house tiny birds that flutter as they sing. Even a king knitting a corset to a contessa while she contested the confines of the design. "What is this place of yours, Mr. Francis?" asked young Madeline. "I am glad you asked, you curious mind. Each item in my store holds a significance, a story, and brings to me both honor and glory to impart these treasures to others in due time. Say, have you ever seen a dream catcher?" "No. What's that?" Madeline asked, and Francis removed his top hat. "Well, it is considered to catch the bad dreams that you may have, and capture them so that you can continue to experience the dreams you have ever had." "Or what about these talismans? A few are shaped like the eye to prevent evil coming to the wearer, but at the same time they bring good future and good fortune to the bearer." Madeline then pointed at a model train that travelled between little nooks and crannies, and behind porcelain dolls of little girls and old grannies. "That's a cool train, Francis. How did it come into the frame?" "Well, it was given to me by a man named Thomas. His train was always on time, but he wasn't. Notorious for being late. He gave it to me as a present, and in return I gave him a pocket watch, the day that he asked one of my staff out on a date. Suffice to say that, from that day on, he would make sure that he would arrive on the hour, and if he was requested upon. That reminds me, little one, you said you need a present for your mum. What do you think she might like?" "Well, I know she likes reading stories to me, and that she loves gardening. She says it's so much fun to watch me and her plants grow both day and night. She talks to our neighbors. I can't remember their names, but they had such a nice mailbox, and they're a lovely old couple that keep 2 coins outside glued to the mailbox. But that's a story for another time." Madeline browsed the shop, and Francis would explain each and every item to her on the spot. A wealth of information and entertainment at her fingertips. But she couldn't help but see that her time had slipped. "Oh no, I have to go!" Madeline was reminded of a keychain featuring a red and black ladybird at the front counter. "Could I please have that one, Francis?" she asked politely. "Certainly. That would be $1.50. And you can take this home within the hour." Madeline rummaged through her pockets and found she only had a penny, 7 buttons, and a tiny ball of fluff. Madeline's heart sank as she uttered, "Francis, I don't have enough." Francis smiled and said, "Don't worry your little head, as you are now part of the IBCC, the Itty Bitty Curios Committee. Today it has 2 members. One of them is you, and the other is me. Other members of the Curious Minds, and their pay is paid in kind. Keep your change, and be sure to come back next time. Francis said as he waved goodbye and gave the buttons back to Madeline. Madeline, with the keychain in hand, went back home to her mum with her birthday present. That lucky day she went home with both something she could hold and a lovely story to be told.